Each year, Land Rover sends a handful of lucky competition winners on the adventure of a lifetime. This year's adventure took place in the beautiful countryside of Catalonia. After 62,000 entries, 20 couples were selected for a week of on- and off-road driving, as well as eating in top-quality restaurants and staying in luxury hotels. We joined the lucky winners on their adventure, and as you'll see, it's one they'll find hard to forget.
Oh, brilliant!
The guests arrived in Catalonia at their first hotel, the Can Bonastre Wine Resort, where they were introduced to the Land Rover team who would be looking after them. The couples were then treated to a tour of the grounds, where they were taken through the entire winemaking process, with enough time to taste the end product, before dinner at the hotel's restaurant. The next morning, the winners were introduced to the full Land Rover range for the first time, and spent the early morning driving on-road through the Catalonian region to the Land Rover Experience Centre in Las Comos. Having spent time driving to their next destination, the group stopped for refreshments before a surprise visit from the Bowler Nemesis vehicle, a rally car used for endurance events based on the Range Rover Sport. Each person was allowed their turn to ride as a passenger in this incredibly fast and capable vehicle. From the high-speed thrill of the Bowler, the guests were then taken around a typical Catalonian house before having lunch in the beautiful courtyard. It was then time for a briefing by the Land Rover marshals to prepare the couples for an afternoon of extreme off-road driving. First, the couples tackled the experience course to get used to the functions and capabilities of their vehicles. After a short practice, the guests were then ready to take on the Catalonian mountains. Steep hills, slab rock and mud. The couples drove all the cars themselves, with only occasional help from the experienced marshals along the way. As the afternoon turned into the evening, the couples were unaware that they were actually driving to their accommodation for the night. A campsite, but a very glamorous campsite, in typical Land Rover style. The guests were up early for another day of driving, and after another vehicle swap for everyone, the couples headed off on-road for the second portion of the off-road driving. But this time around, the driving was tougher and really showed everyone what the vehicles were capable of. They were now ready to see some sights, with a cable car to the top of the Montserrat Mountains to really take in the view. Once they arrived at the top, they visited the monastery and took time out alone before making the long journey back down again for another vehicle swap and the last portion of driving to their next hotel for the evening. The Abac, situated in the heart of Barcelona and with a Michelin-starred restaurant for the couples to enjoy. After having the opportunity to drive the entire range of vehicles, the couple spent their last day taking in the culture of Barcelona with a Gaudi tour and a shopping trip before saying their goodbyes and leaving for the airport. Next year, the Land Rover fleet will journey across Finland's breathtaking landscapes in the Nordic adventure. If you would like to apply for a place on the trip, please click Enter now.